sets to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Working from the gun, Mahomes eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Flushed out right. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. And, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Breeze now. Looking long for Thomas. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Williams. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Speaking of Damian Williams, great Super Bowl. 17 carries, over 100 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. Charles, he also had one through the air. Did you think he would have that type of a game?
I wasn't sure that we would see that type of a game, but I knew he would be a part of their offense in terms of trying to break down what San Francisco does, that he would get the bulk of carries. But did I see 104 yards on the ground and a touchdown? Probably not. Did I see him catching one as well, 133 yards of total offense? Probably not. But give him his due, because now, in his postseason career, which is 6 games, 5 of them with Kansas City, 1 with Miami, he scored 11 times.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack. Mahomes throwing on 4th. And the pressure gets to him again. Cameron Jordan. And this defense will take over right at midfield.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. 4th down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play, but the pressure ended up getting to him.
Pressure got to him. Really big sack and a turnover here on downs. And Thomas has it. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
On fourth down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On fourth down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Let's go, baby.
And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Everybody scoot and kill.
Brees to throw on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
You're good, you're good. Ready.
They run. It's Kamara. And an alley to run. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, oh, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. On On 2nd and 11 now. Breeze, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
They certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. So here we go on 4th down with Breeze. He'll air it out deep looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Marcus Williams.
Yeah.